I just didn't like the. It's not like I didn't like the video as a whole. I think you brought some great points.
Okay.
But it's mostly the idea that basically, you seem to summarize that because Naruto basically one has a truth-seeking or two has sensory capabilities. You seem to put those factors above Goku.
Okay.
Now I think differently than that.
Whoa, those aren't my own. No, don't strawman me. I never said those are my only reasonings for Naruto winning. My main point was
those are the ones I have problems with.
Okay. But those are only supplementary to my main argument. Why are you nitpicking that in general? That doesn't. Okay,
I'll get to how that ties into your main argument now.
Okay, sure.
Wait, hold on. 111. What country are you from?
I'm in Houston right now. Just
that's a nice
country.
Where? Houston, the country.
You're from where?
Houston, the
country.
You're
from Houston?
Yeah. The
no. What country are you actually from? Not
Houston. We have a problem.
What country are you from?
United States. Is that what you want to? Is that what
you're from the United States?
Yeah. Okay. Look,
I don't believe
he has some kind of disorder. Just let him go. State your problem. Let's go. Continue.
So basically, is that countering to yours that Naruto? So that Goku in Ultra Instinct. As a fighter throughout the entire series, basically has all the means to counter anything Naruto has. Basically, which comes through the shadow clones, to the Rasen Shurikens, even through the hack.
Look, this isn't a video. Can you get to the point?
Come on, now. Point is basically one: Goku, Naruto relies on the element of surprise. So
no, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he does not.
Yes, a lot of his attacks.
He literally fought Gaara, Mizuki, Zabuza, all of them head on. You know the reason he was designed. No, you gotta let me speak. You gotta let me speak. You know the reason he wears.
You haven't let me speak. Come on, bro.
No,
Yes, he did. He let you speak with your fucked accent, dude.
Okay, look. The reason Naruto wears orange, it was literally said in design notes, is because he's supposed to be an upfront confrontational ninja. He is a Jinchuriki that fights physically. Yes.
That has nothing to do with what I'm about to say.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying is that most of Naruto's tactics really revolve around the fact that his opponents can't discern between his shadow clone jutsus and him and the
Naruto versus Sasuke.
The same thing.
No, Sasuke wouldn't let him use shadow clones.
It depends which fight. Is it the last fight?
The last fight, the only one that matters. The only one that fought was Six Paths.
Remember in the beginning, the last fight, a lot of times, even in the anime series, see the only reason Sasuke ever gets confused and gets hit by surprise, especially when they were both weakened, and Sasuke threw a Shidori at him. He hit the wrong one. That's because he couldn't discern which.
What are you talking about? You mean base Naruto? Naruto only used shadow clones in base.
Base Naruto and even
Six Paths never used shadow clones. No, he never used shadow clones to tell Sasuke. He only used it when Sasuke absorbed the 10 tails.
Well,
he only used it when Sasuke absorbed the 10 tails. Other than that, it was a one-on-one fight. If anything, Sasuke used far more slippery tactics than Naruto, such as firing a fireball, and then when Naruto has to block it, he teleported behind him and then Chidori'd him. That's catching him off guard, but Naruto never got the opportunity to use shadow clones in Six Paths.
He did shadow clones.
Also, this is a completely stupid point anyway, because Naruto has fought numerous opponents without shadow clones. Do I just need to list every opponent he's fought without shadow clones, or what?
Well, but I'm saying that what I'm saying is basically this: that's Naruto's full-on tactic relies on the fact that he can deceive you using shadow clones.
He doesn't need to deceive you with them.
I'm saying he needs to deceive you with
the fact that he does not need to deceive you with them. What do you not get? Did he need to deceive the Ninetales? Did he need to deceive Kaguya? No, he was just fucking gangbanging them with his clones.
See, all the times he deceived the Ninetales crushed Naruto, thought he was the real one, and looked behind him, Naruto was charging Rasen Shuriken.
Yes, because he's gangbanging him with clones. He did it to Mizuki too. It doesn't matter.
Same tactic.
It's just a rat pack tactic. It doesn't mean anything.
Almost half the reason he wins the fight or gains an advantage is usually because he can deceive his opponents with shadow clones.
No, he doesn't always deceive his opponents. He didn't deceive Sasuke.
It happens in almost every fight. Almost every fight.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to do it to win. I don't see why this is even a point. He doesn't have to do it.
That's why I haven't even reached my point. If you didn't interrupt me, we wouldn't have.
Well, I need to interrupt you because you're trying to shotgun me. I don't need to hear you shotgun.
I'm not trying to shotgun you.
Yes, do you know what a shotgun is? What is a shotgun? What's a shotgun mean? Do you even know what it means?
I don't need to.
Oh, so you don't need to explain what a shotgun means. So you don't even know what it means. You're gonna say that you weren't doing something and then not know what the definition of the word meant. Okay, so now you're arguing dishonestly. So now I have to really listen to you here. I have to pay close attention because you're being dishonest. So a shotgun is when you try to say multiple points within a premise.
For a different argument. I don't know what a shotgun is.
Yes, clearly you don't, but you just said that you weren't shotgunning. So you don't know what it means. So I need to explain. So now I need to explain to you what a shotgun means because you were trying to shotgun me in an argument, and a debate is 1 point at a time. Do you know what that means? You know what 1 point at a time means?
You're not letting me make my 1 point.
No, you aren't. You're trying to make an argument full of numerous points. Okay, and I need to take down each point in advance because if I let you construe a point with false points, it's not going to come out very well. I don't need to listen to you make false points. If I can debunk something, I can debunk it. That's all I need to be said.
When you haven't heard the full argument, that's the thing. You just
because you're lying mid debate. You're saying things like this. You're saying things like this. You're saying, well, he only wins by deceiving. That's wrong. I don't need to listen to your point from there because it's wrong.
Oh, I didn't say he wins by deceiving. I said he gains
Yes, you literally just did. You said he wins most of his fights by deceiving with shadow clones. I literally just had to disprove that.
I said he gains most of his advantages in the fight because of the shadow clones.
Not versus Sasuke, not versus Madara. What? Not versus Obito. Doesn't matter. I don't see what your fucking argument is.
Wait, that's not even
I'm not going to let you predicate your argument off of a lie. Because I don't need to listen to that.
Because what I'm saying is not that he wins off the shadow clones alone, but it's his main tactic to gain an advantage over his opponent.
He doesn't need it to win. I already proved that. Now change the argument.
To win.
I've already explained when. This is fucking you repeating yourself. Are you autistic? Move on to a new point.
Stop interrupting me, then I'll make my entire point.
No, because your point is predicated on a lie. I just explained why it's wrong. Move on to a different point.
Situations in which he gains advantages.
I gave you a situation where he didn't get an advantage from it. That's all that needs to be said.
I gave you a situation where he does win.
Okay, and I gave you a situation where he doesn't need it. There you go. Move on to a different argument.
Yeah, most of his. What I'm saying is basically this, and it's really centered around the fact to deceive is that one, Goku can sense ki. Naruto can't control his ki to basically hide it. So the fact
Naruto doesn't have ki.
Naruto has ki on Naruto has ki, of course.
No, he doesn't. Ki is not established in Naruto as an actual thing. You have no proof. You have no proof ki exists in Naruto.
If you're gonna basically say something like if the truth-seeking orb is supposed to completely nullify, say, Goku's Kamehameha, that means you're under the presumption. Yes, you did.
No, I never. No, let me finish. I was never arguing that it's because it counters chakra or ki. All I said is that the truth-seeking orbs are far stronger than Naruto himself is. Basically, a truth-seeking orb is the equivalent of an amped Bijou Dama in terms of power. So what I said was, along with Rasen Shurikens and the truth-seeking orbs, he could counter a Super Kamehameha because a Super Kamehameha is only a slightly amped version of Goku. If even that, because in the actual data books, the Daizenshu, it says that the Super Kamehameha for Goku doesn't even increase his power level using Kaioken. It just says that it's just a normal long-ranged attack. And this is also shown when he tries the Super Kamehameha on Piccolo and it doesn't even kill him in one shot, despite the fact it's supposed to be 3 times his power level. So actually, it's just inconsistent. So even then, my argument still stands completely.
You also have to consider they can boost their defenses as well.
Okay. Have you ever seen...
That's not the point, but that wasn't the point of the argument. Back to Goku and Naruto. So now, basically
do you concede that last point? Do you concede the last point, the true seeking orbs? Or because if you don't concede, we're going to stay on it.
If that because
concede the point, or we're continuing.
Let me finish what I was trying to say. So if your point is basically that the true seeking orb is it doesn't nullify the Kamehameha because it's key, then I concede. That's
okay,
what I'm
cool.
trying to say.
Cool, because I never said that. Cool. Yeah.
Basically, what I was getting, my first point that I was trying to bring up was the sensory, the sensory type.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what I'm saying is that Naruto can basically use most of his deceitful his deceiving tactics with shadow clone jutsus, which mostly that's what he relies on against strong opponents. For example,
I don't want to interrupt you again, but I feel like you're strawmanning me because I never once said I never said Naruto would win with deceitful tactics. I said he likes to use deceitful tactics, but I never said he needed them or at all to win. So I don't see why you're making this point.
That's what you said. What I'm saying was tied to my first point. That basically Naruto would win because he had better sensory capabilities.
Ooh, no. I never said that. No.
Yeah, so you didn't say Naruto's sensory capabilities were better than Goku's?
They are. If that's what you want to hear, they are.
Well, once you said you were saying that was an
I never said it's the only reason. Basically, what I'm saying is
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, if you want to know the main things that give Naruto an advantage, everything else other than these points I'm about to say are just supplementary, techniques to Naruto's arsenal that give him even more of an advantage. Okay, so Naruto's main advantage is his retarded ass stamina. Okay, retarded stamina. And then his next one is cloning himself 2,000 times. That's retardedly good advantage. And all the clones are basically as strong as he is. And then I said he has regeneration. Like, good regeneration. Like, he can have a hole ripped through his torso and regenerate it completely. That's awesome regeneration. And then I said he has minor precognition. So the idea wasn't to say that he has better precognition than Goku, right? Because Ultra Instinct is basically automatic movement, like on top of like spider sense. All I was saying is that Naruto himself has a level of precognition himself, so that Goku's level of precognition doesn't just automatically neg Naruto's base combat stance. Do you understand that?
I get that.
Okay.
I get that.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that his precognition was like way better than Goku's or something. And then that's why I also prefaced Naruto has fought numerous opponents with like the Sharingan and some levels of precognition before. I wasn't saying that they had, as much as Goku. I was just saying he's dealt with similar opponents before, right? He's dealt with opponents who can somewhat see into the future a little bit in terms of, taijutsu, and can kind of force opponents into situations where they can't dodge, right? So like when you watch Goku versus Jiren, Goku was put into numerous situations where he was forced to react with the Kamehameha or block, and Naruto is with his shadow clones, his Rasen Shurikens, or his feats versus Kaguya where he would pin Kaguya numerous times. Those are just examples of how Naruto would be able to find situations to pin Goku into a situation where he could not dodge. Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay.
That makes perfect sense.
That's pretty much what I was trying to say.
Right. Then basically I can see basically the sensory part is out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Basically. So sorry, that last chat. So now, what I wanted to get at, which was my third point, was basically put it in my comment, but it was basically Goku's ability to amp certain parts of his body, like with greater, key capacity than he has. Like say the Dragon Fist, or
Mm-hmm.
and his defense. Um, wouldn't you think that had like a distinct advantage over, say,
Well,
when it comes to defending himself against Naruto's surprise attacks, or his pin down maneuvers in a way?
Naruto can do similar things. So I never really considered that an
I don't think
advantage.
so.
So like for example, the Rasen Shuriken is massively stronger than Naruto is, and you can spam it. The Rasengan is massively stronger than Naruto is. A really good example of Naruto having chakra defense, where he can amplify it. Like I said, he holds out a fireball. Well, Sasuke shoots a fireball, and then he holds on to it, he blocks it, right? Sasuke teleports behind him, and then uses the Chidori, which amplifies his power. By the way, Naruto and Sasuke are pretty much rivals in power. I'd give it to Naruto on stamina, though, which is why Sasuke needed the tailed beast. But they're about equals in power, right? This Chidori, which amps Sasuke even more, hits Naruto unguarded. And then Naruto protects himself using chakra and is able to tank the attack. So I never considered defense or anything an advantage that Goku would inherently have over Naruto. The Dragon Fist and stuff, we've never seen Goku in Dragon Ball Super's anime use the Dragon Fist. And, this is the same argument as people saying...
but wouldn't you consider, like, say, the Kid Goku's punch versus King Piccolo some sort of a variant of that Dragon Fist, though?
No, because he used that same punch on Kami. Or was it Kami or Popo? One of them. And they just kind of blocked it casually and flicked him away. So it wasn't like a 10 times multiplication of power level or anything. And if it was really a 10 times multiplication of power level, you sure as hell wouldn't need the Super Kamehameha versus Piccolo Jr. This is the same argument as people saying Goku has the Hakai, and it's like, well, he has the Hakai in the manga, but we're clearly using Dragon Ball Super's anime, or else Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku wouldn't be a thing. I mean, we could use some weird composite variations of Goku and Naruto, but if we're using composite Goku and Naruto, composite Goku has some weird-ass plot manipulation and logic manipulation in Dragon Ball Heroes that would absolutely neg Naruto. And Naruto also has some weird techniques in the games and stuff, like infinite energy in some of the movies. It's just weird, and it would just be a very convoluted argument that nobody's actually trying to figure out. People are trying to figure out what would happen if normal Naruto fought normal Goku.
But I try to stick to the source material as well.
Mm-hmm. That's also why I said we're not going to say Naruto has 5,000 clones, because that's only stated in the games, right? That's why I was like, we're just going to stick to 2,000.
All right, then. So, let's see. My second point that I wanted to reach.
Mm-hmm.
So now basically it just came back, back to the fact of Ultra Instinct. Sorry, it was of stamina. That was one stamina. That's one of the things. One thing you kept recurring in the video was you kept saying that Goku in Ultra Instinct was only for 2 minutes. But then looking back at it, you have to realize that Goku was working off the little key Vegeta provided for him.
Mm-hmm.
in before the last battle with Jiren.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not, personally for me, that's not an accurate position of what Goku's stamina is in that form.
Okay, well, let me break this down for you a little bit then. So here's a few ways to look at it. So for one, Goku, even while suppressed, could barely last 48 minutes in the Tournament of Power. Even if he never went Ultra Instinct, he didn't stay in blue because he's like, I can't stay in blue the whole time. That'd be terrible for my stamina. So Super Saiyan Blue, which is far less strenuous than Ultra Instinct, can't even last as long as 48 minutes. And then you have the fact that Ultra Instinct, what I mainly meant by stamina, maybe I should have worded it more like differently. I thought about this more in depth after I made the video. But basically with Ultra Instinct...
sorry about that. It kind of broke halfway.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where did I cut off?
You were just starting your argument, and it just like...
Oh, you didn't hear anything? Okay.
Point. Sorry.
Okay, and that's fine. Yeah. If I cut out again, let me know. Basically, Goku at the start of the tournament, he and all the gods say this. Him and Vegeta cannot stay as a Super Saiyan Blue because it would be way too detrimental to their stamina. And the tournament is only 48 minutes long. So they're not even comfortable enough to stay as a Super Saiyan Blue for 48 minutes. So even if you wanted to argue Ultra Instinct is just more strenuous than Blue, it's still not even 48 minutes worth of stamina. And then here's also the fact. Goku, after he was done beating the shit out of Jiren, wasn't necessarily even tired. What happened is that Ultra Instinct broke Goku's body down, and his body just simply could not hold on to Ultra Instinct because his body started to like explode from the limit breaking power of Ultra Instinct. So even then, it wasn't even a stamina problem. It's more like his body's durability just couldn't handle Ultra Instinct. So even then, it's like my claim doesn't really change from there. It's like a few minutes versus 24 hours worth of stamina. I think my claim still remains pretty valid in that case.
But at the same time, you'd have to see like that we didn't really see the limits of Goku's stamina even at that time.
What do you mean?
Even after the Ultra Instinct God, he broke his body's limit and everything, he was still able to get up, fight with Frieza, ringed out. He was still up. He was still
Wait,
he was
fight
still
with
up
Frieza?
Remember after the Ultra Instinct, the Ultra Instinct kind of vanished, and Frieza 17 had to fight together. Goku even still had stamina then.
Yeah, but it's very low, and he was basically crippled after the form ran out for at least a good few seconds, right? It still wore him down for whatever amount of time. Basically, it incapacitated him and threw him in base form. And the thing is, if, say he fought Naruto, if Naruto and base Goku had to go at it, and we're just going to assume base Goku and base Naruto are going at it, it would just be the same thing until the Nine Tails gave Naruto enough power to shit on Goku again. The thing that people seem to keep forgetting is that Naruto has a...
Sorry, you can finish your point. I'll get back to that. Finish your point. Sorry about that.
The thing about Naruto is that Naruto is constantly regenerating energy from the Nine Tails holding his fucking dick the whole time.
The Nine Tails takes almost a good 15 minutes to get his energy back.
Where do you get 15 from?
One was after his energy dissipated when he was versus Sage 6 Pass Obito. The second is when he was with Sasuke.
Where did you get 15
in the last battle,
from?
he ran out of shot. Sorry, I got the 15 from the 6 Pass, the 6 Pass fight.
Yeah, but where are you getting the number 15 minutes? Where is that stated somewhere? Or?
I see.
Doesn't really change my argument anyway, but I would like to see it. I can, if you can't find it, I can steel man and say it takes a few minutes anyway. It doesn't really change my argument.
I was about to say, it said a few minutes. It didn't say 15. That was my bad.
Oh, so it just says a few minutes? That's whatever anyway. It's like, okay. Yeah. So basically, by the time it takes for Ultra Instinct to run out, the Nine Tails has enough chakra to refuel Naruto.
Hold on. Seconds for Goku, even after his first first use of Ultra Instinct.
So this is what I was about to say. So Ultra Instinct versus Naruto. Even if you said Goku took out 24 hours of stamina from Naruto in a few minutes with Ultra Instinct, that's all the time the Nine Tails need to fully recharge Naruto. So Naruto would go back down to base form. Goku goes back down to base form. The Nine Tails is like, here you go, buddy. I've been preparing this for you. Here you go. Just dick on him real quick. Full power again.
But at the same time, you have to realize this. Goku got enough energy not only to go into basically Super Saiyan, but Super Saiyan Blue. And this was only after a few seconds.
Not versus Jiren.
That amount of stamina recovery. It seems like it will still keep Goku inside the game though.
It wasn't versus Jiren. Versus Jiren, Basically, he needed Frieza, 17, and all them to kind of hold his dick, and then he went into like this pseudo Super Saiyan state. You might be able
That's not the
to.
part I'm talking about, though. I was talking about the after the second use of Ultra Instinct.
Well, we're
with
talking
Kefla,
about
he ran out of
mastered
energy.
Ultra Instinct, man. Because
Hi, Seth.
here's the thing: is that Ultra Instinct Omen did not blow up Goku's body like mastered Ultra Instinct. So it's a little bit of a false comparison because we're talking about mastered Ultra Instinct.
Hey, wouldn't you say? But at the same time, wouldn't you say like the Ultra Instinct, the limit, the total, you know, like the to the Ultra Instinct at that time, wasn't it due to the combination of all the times he used Ultra Instinct to in those 48 hours?
What do you mean by that?
The,
like, do you
so
think
basically what
it
I'm saying is
accumulated?
yeah, like the fact he used Ultra Instinct about 3 times.
Well, I disagree because
gave out.
So basically what happens is Ultra Instinct side effects happen, right? But they're not permanent. The side effects of Ultra Instinct is that it completely removes all your stamina and it just fucks you up. So basically after he did it versus Jiren, he couldn't really move, right? And then Frieza gave him stamina, and then he slowly, gradually went back to normal. He did it again versus Kefla, and then after that, his body ran out of stamina, and he fucking started eating shit, and then he slowly regained stamina until he could do Kaioken times 20. So no, I do not think the effects stack onto each other. I think his body rapidly recovers. I'll give Goku this. He has good stamina regeneration, which would be a better argument for you, but I do not think that the Ultra Instinct forms stacked on like their limit-breaking like strain on his body.
That's that. I kind of believe it's a stacked result, because really the fact of stamina recovery didn't really come as a major point, though.
What do you mean?
Like
Here's this. How about this? I'll ask you this. Is it ever stated that it's the repeated use of the Ultra Instinct states rather than just the use of Ultra Instinct?
on Ultra Instinct, and that's pretty much a vague sentence. It could mean from all the times he used Ultra Instinct to that single time he used Ultra Instinct.
Well, then this point
It's
is
kind of-
then this point is
It's
pretty.
kind of
Then this
unbelievable
point
that
is
after all that went through, that it's only that time he used Mastered Ultra Instinct,
Yes, well,
which they don't give any indication it consumes any more energy than your regular Ultra Instinct. The only difference is that he mastered it, so I don't see any reason why that particular form of Ultra Instinct will basically,
it causes his body to blow
Goku
up. That's
as
all we
opposed
know.
to-
Yeah, we know it causes his body to blow up. We've seen it.
but that would be from using Ultra Instinct repeatedly.
Okay, you could say it's repeatedly all you want. It doesn't change anything. It's only a few minutes worth of stamina.
Is this. All I'm saying is this, right? That basically Goku stamina only
What do
after
you mean?
Ultra Instinct. Because what you were saying is basically this: Naruto basically has a day's worth of stamina.
Possibly more than that, but because he was actually fighting for about 48 hours in total, if you want to be honest. Because even before Six Paths, he was already fighting for like a day straight. And then Kurama was like, yeah, your chakra from fighting in the war is made you super low. So he wasn't even referring to just using Six Paths. So it's more like 48 hours, but with Six Paths, we've known it's 24 hours.
I don't think so. It's not 48 hours though, because Naruto had to recover from the recover chakra from the Nine Tails about 2 times.
Well, that's if we're
during
not.
the war.
That's if we're not giving the same benefit to Naruto as we did Goku, because Goku had to recover stamina numerous times as well.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough.
And like I said in the video, I said
But
it was
my main argument was that Goku didn't have just two minutes worth of stamina after Ultra Instinct.
well, that's your head canon. That's just you believing that the
Canon,
limit.
considering
That's you believing the
every
limit breaking
information
forms stack
about
onto
it.
each other even after Goku's recovered his stamina. So even after his body has recovered, you still believe that the limit-breaking strain is somehow there and stacks on to the next limit-breaking form he uses later on, which I find extremely disbelievable. I find little evidence for, and even if I did Steelman and give you that, it doesn't change anything.
First, what do you mean it doesn't give me anything though?
Because it's still only a few minutes of
It's basically
stamina.
on the stamina side of things.
If anything, the Ultra Instinct stamina he had before was worse. So it's still less than like 4 minutes, even if I did Steelman you.
Wasn't it just a few seconds he got back up and was able to go Super Saiyan Blue?
Versus
His fight with Kefla after Ultra Instinct, he ran out
no,
of stamina.
there was a
few
small
seconds
break.
He went against the other universe.
There was a small break, and Frieza gave Goku energy.
Oh no, I'm not talking about after Jiren. I'm talking about after Kefla.
After Kefla, let me think about it. After Kefla, he still needed a break, and then they fought Ani. They fought Ani Raza, right? So okay, no, wait. There was an enemy before that.
It wasn't Ani Raza. It was those three.
There's the robots.
Those Sailor Moon parodies.
And then and then Gohan went in. I'm trying to think.
It was that thing with the black hole heart.
Yeah. It's a little bit complicated about the time frame of that scene. Do you have the exact time frame? Or do you have assumptions?
Well, what the time
Did they fight Universe 2? Oh, the Universe 2 thing was worse, man. If we're talking Universe 2, then 18 had a full battle with Ribrianne. Vegeta took his hand at Ribrianne. Some people were fighting robots and stuff on the side. Yeah, that definitely doesn't mean anything. That's an unquantifiable amount of time.
I was talking for Goku's case, not their case, though.
For Goku's case, he didn't use Super Saiyan Blue until after Ribrianne was gone. Which was like an entire set of battles.
He did use Super Saiyan Blue. Oh, wait. After Ribrianne was gone.
After Ribrianne.
Yeah, after Ribrianne was gone.
So that's like after an entire set of battles is done for. Do you have the exact time frame for how long those battles took, or are you going to assume?
No.
Because this few...
That wasn't a given time frame.
This few seconds thing you're talking about seems to just be a little bit of an assumption that I can't really buy without evidence. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. Also, I think from there, it's pretty much over. But I would like to ask you, I think I remember seeing your comment, which I felt was very disingenuous, that you were saying things like, oh, Neji blocking all of Naruto's pressure points doesn't matter. If hit Naruto, it'd be way different.
I didn't say it doesn't matter. I said in that context, because you were comparing Neji's fight with Naruto to hit with Naruto, which I said that hitting what Neji was doing to Naruto was locking his chakra points, not hitting his vital points.
Right. Although he did try to hit his vital points a few times just to incapacitate him, and we have seen
kill though.
We have seen this is very similar to what happened with Hit though, right? So when Hit tried to incapacitate Vegeta and not kill him, Vegeta couldn't really handle it. Naruto could handle it completely because the chakra just overrode it, and I would say that Neji's pressure point attacks are far more precise.
Overrode wasn't the fact that he hit a vital point; it was the fact that he locked his.
Well, I already proved that if a vital point was damaged, which I made this comparison, that Naruto would be able to recover that with Kyuubi chakra as well. So it was like a pressure point stimulation or a vital point being hit. Naruto would be able to recover that with Kyuubi chakra, and that was the entire premise of that set of arguments. So, for example, if Hit hits Naruto with that heart-crushing-esque kind of attack, Naruto would be able to recover that damage.
I get that part, but when I was reaching out to the vital points, it wasn't the fact that it would kill Naruto, but it was to incapacitate him. But
I guess you could say that maybe I didn't. You could say I didn't word it good, which is fine, but the point still stands.
Maybe that was it.
Maybe I didn't word it as well. Yeah, but other than that,
But basically that was my point with the Neji thing, that vital points, chakra points aren't necessarily the same thing. You know, and also you were trying to compare Naruto's experience with say Obito.
With Obito. I don't think I mentioned Obito a single time in the video.
Okay, sorry. You're trying to compare Naruto and Naruto's fight with Goku's fight with Hit with Naruto's fight with Hit. You said Naruto would probably win or handle it a bit differently. And you're saying this because basically Hit's attacks were very direct and predictable.
No.
You said it once.
I said Goku himself came to the conclusion that Hit thought Hit was predictable, which he was right. Hit was predictable. I can show you that as well. This is mainly
one of your points, though. That was one of your points why Naruto.
No, that wasn't my reasoning as for why Naruto would win. My reasoning for Naruto winning is that Hit could do no serious damage to Naruto with his very nimble fighting style, and the fact that Naruto would more than likely be able to deduce that Hit is traveling between dimensions.
But that was my point. That's what the point I was trying to reach, was that basically Hit Dispo on his own end had trouble predicting whether Hit was going to use his time skip or his time stop.
That's after Hit started mixing it up, but that's a more trained Hit as well. That's after Hit started training to keep in mind that opponents would be able to counter his time skip in the future. Because versus Goku in the first fight, he did not use intangibility, he did not use the mix-up or anything of the sort. So that's more like a post-training Hit, which isn't really talking about what I was talking about.
Really?
I can see it on that point.
Okay, that's fine. Also, you brought up the fact that Naruto would not be able to sense Hit in a different dimension because he couldn't sense Obito going into different dimensions.
I didn't say he couldn't sense Hit. Okay. I didn't say he couldn't sense
That's
Hit.
That was my vague memory of what you said. If I'm misconstruing what you said.
That's not what I said. Okay. What I said was basically that Naruto would still have similar problems handling Hit the same way he had similar problems handling Obito.
I disagree. Because the Naruto that fought Obito was not one that could sense through different dimensions. However, Six Paths mode Naruto can sense through different dimensions. Here, I'll show you a scan of this. Are you looking in?
I know Naruto can sense the Madara's limbos, right?
No, not even just that. Look at this. Look at this. Look in fodder real quick. That's Naruto sensing people in other dimensions. Even outside of the fact that he could sense or see Limbo, which exists on a different plane of existence. So here we have consistent showings of Naruto sensing people in other dimensions.
And are you talking about the tailed beast that he's sensing?
No, he's not sensing a tailed beast. He's sensing Sasuke. And to ward off a future claim you might make, Sasuke could not sense Naruto. This was actually specifically stated. If you want the scan for that, or you can believe me and I don't have to get it, but up to you.
No, I mean, that's fine, but that's not what I was getting at. What I was trying to get at was basically the factor that Naruto would basically be able to fight or attack Hit under the circumstances that he can slip in and out of dimensions. Now, it's one thing for Naruto to sense Hit, but it's another thing for Naruto to basically fight him while he's moving through dimensions, the same way Obito was moving through dimensions when Naruto was fighting him.
Well, you're aware that Naruto is beginning to actually counter Obito, and like I said before, Naruto couldn't.
But that was with the help of Kakashi and Gai, though.
Naruto couldn't detect that Obito was actually slipping through dimensions or when he was doing it. However, versus Hit, he would be able to deduce that information more quickly. He'd also have, like I said, like I
even when
said,
Kakashi told him, even when Kakashi and Guy went and came up with the basically the
yes,
prediction.
they came up with plans to be able to hit Obito in his pocket dimension. However,
After
hit
knowing
versus
that factor, they
however
still
six.
had trouble
You gotta
hitting
let me speak.
Obito and Naruto.
You gotta let me say my premise,
Naruto
please.
wouldn't have.
I understand your point. Please let me say my premise because you don't understand my premise.
Finish it. Finish it.
Okay. Mine is that Six Paths Naruto is a far different fighter than Bijou Sage Naruto is. Six Paths Sage Mode.
In terms of what exactly?
God. Yeah.
Sorry. Finish.
Yeah.
Finish.
Okay, so Naruto can sense hit in a different dimension, so he'd be able to sense Obito in a different dimension, as well as the fact that Naruto has precognition in Six Paths. So he's able to deduce when he has danger awareness. So when he has this danger awareness, the second hit would come out of this dimension with a strike, Naruto would be able to anticipate said attack. And this is when Naruto would be able to deduce a counter. And this also goes into more stamina and the fact that Naruto's durability is capable of fighting these nimble-ass, pressure point attacks, or, even if he was going for the kill, which would completely negate the scenario I was, premising. What I was trying to say is the fact that Naruto could handle that situation where Goku couldn't kind of proves that his skill is extremely valid, where most Dragon Ball fans will try to say, well, Goku's better at hand-to-hand combat, and he's been fighting people for more years, and they'll try the experience fallacy, and that's why Goku wins in their, opinion. But what I was, prefacing is that there are situations where Naruto would win where he wouldn't. Or you could even say, even if you don't want to say he wins, he would do a shit ton better.
I mean, he'll do better, but basically what I was getting at was basically that hidden is hidden is an improvement. I forgot how it's called, but it's basically this idea, his own variant of a Zenkai boost in a sense, where as
His
the fight
power
goes
increases.
on,
Yeah.
his power or his time skip is basically increases.
Mm-hmm.
With that in mind, wouldn't hit basically overlap, basically overtake Naruto with his time skip in as the fight went on, and as opposed to
So
winning in the end.
that depends on the continuity you're choosing. In the manga, no. In the anime, maybe. But then I would have to say as well that the situation we've been describing is more like a one-on-one Naruto thing. And like I said before, he'd be able to clone himself 2,000 times.
You kind of cut there. You finished with you would have to.
Okay, so you would have to choose between, is this in the manga or the anime? In the manga, he wouldn't be able to.
Well, I'm following the anime, basically.
Yeah, so we're going mainly with the anime, because in the manga, Naruto would slap, because Hit doesn't really show that ability too much.
That guy's not.
Yeah, and in the manga, well, I mean, the anime, it would be like 2,000 clones of Naruto. Like I said, if Naruto wants to power up beyond Six Paths, he can absorb nature energy while his clones hold Hit off. Hit is more susceptible to trickery, as shown versus Goku. There are numerous things that Naruto could do to hold off Hit while he himself powers up. Like I said, he has more stamina. Hit is going to have a very hard time dealing a fatal blow, even if he is stronger. We've never even seen Hit really use Ki Blast per se. He seems to be more of a hand-to-hand. He seems to be more of a hand-to-hand kind of guy. Not that Hit couldn't use Ki Blast, but he seems to be more about like a, an assassin type of character. So from this, I really deduced that Naruto in this situation would have far more versatility even then. And like I said before, it's not even so much so that Naruto maybe would be able to win 100%. It's just that he would just do better, which is really the only point. Like, the only point is that Naruto would just simply do better than Goku would.
Yeah, I can see that fact. I can see that fact.
What was the debate?
Please don't interrupt. Sorry about him.
Okay. Also, one thing I was trying to find out is just a baseline question. Is basically in the scenario, right? Naruto is in the small tournament of power in the place of Goku versus Hit. Now, would you say that Naruto doesn't have access to nature energy inside that field?
I've thought about this as well, but it seems Naruto can still use his sage energy outside of Earth. So, for instance, when he's fighting Toneri on the moon, he's still able to absorb nature energy on the moon, which should have no nature at all. And if anything, I would.
It's not really, the moon isn't really a moon, so it's kind of,
It's a little bit weird, whatever it is. But I would just argue that Naruto simply absorbs energy from the planet itself because the planet does. I don't even know. Actually, it's not even a planet. It's a super Dragon Ball, now that I think about it. So I don't know if he would absorb energy from solar radiation or what, because the planet in Naruto has no nature on it at all. It's basically just like a hollow sphere with a building in it. So it's like, how did he get sage energy there? I'm just assuming he can get it from like solar radiation or something like Toneri did. That's just my headcanon, but all it really matters is that he can get sage mode in desolate areas somehow. So I don't really know what to say from there. All we know is that he can just use it even in these desolate spatial areas.
no, but I see your point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I concede basically. Naruto does better against Hit than Goku.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So the last thing we have a problem with now is, what was it? I think you said something about the solar flare. Do you still want to use the solar flare point?
Get that part. It kind of like split off once.
Oh.
It's kind of cut. Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't get the question.
The last point you made that we seem to have forgotten is you made a point about the solar flare. Would you like to continue trying that point?
Well, what was the context? I'm sorry.
You said something about Goku being able to use the solar flare to stop shadow clones or something.
Said that. I don't think I said that.
Oh, and that must have been someone else.
The only time I mentioned solar flare was just part of the abilities of Goku you didn't mention.
Mm-hmm.
Like, solar flare, the evil containment wave, and, Hakai, whatever.
The problem I have is that I just do not see Ultra Instinct Goku using the evil containment wave. Maybe the solar flare, maybe, but even then it's like.
I wanted to ask though, and it's basically about telekinesis. Now we all know that basically Goku could basically sense when King Kai was talking to Kami back on Earth. Able to sense any interaction between Naruto and Kurama during the fight.
That's possible. Sasuke was kind of able to do that. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Sasuke was able to do that, so it's not impossible. Not impossible. Although
I was just thinking about that fact.
Later on in the series, that seems to be more with the fact that Sasuke has like ocular powers though, and he can read chakra. With Goku, we don't see Goku really use his mind reading powers since he used it on Krillin on Namek, where he had to like put his hand on his head. He shows.
So it was the part where King Kai was talking to Kami.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. He might be able to intercept telekinesis, but the thing with Naruto is that when he communicates with Kurama, it's not telekinesis. It's more like he's communicating with his subconscious or his conscious. So he's not actually like using telekinesis or anything on Kurama. He's just communicating within his consciousness. Which is why like Jinchuriki meditate or whatever to talk.
Personally, for me, that kind of feels like telekinesis to me.
Even if you wanted to,
I mean, two minds,
I mean, if you wanted to, you could say he could intercept it somehow, or if he put his hand on his head, he could read his thoughts or something and figure out what's going on with him. But other than that, I don't really see the point of that.
No, that's cool then. That's cool.
Yeah. The last point I could say about my video.
Thank you. Thanks for debating me anyway.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say about my video though is that Goku somewhat has intentional precognition. Like, when he fights Trunks, he's able to deduce that Trunks has no killing intent against him, which is like really.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Yeah, that's like really minor intentional recognition. It's not really like an inherent ability. It's more like just his guess per se, and maybe he somewhat read
it's
him.
a guess though, because they made a point of it. It was an entire point that that Trunks didn't. He felt Trunks wasn't going to strike because his ki didn't feel malicious.
Yeah, so you could say
he went to strike. He blocked.
Yeah, so it seems a little bit basic. I mean, you could say maybe you could read emotions on a basic level like that, or intent, which I'm okay with. All I would say, though, is that if Naruto and Goku were fighting, Naruto would have malicious intent the entire time. It wouldn't just be like a set thing that would really, give away when he's going to attack or anything, because he would be intent to attack basically the entire time versus Goku. So there would be no real read from there.
But it's like, but it's not only for the original Naruto, right? It's like if a shadow clone, say per se, didn't have an attack intent, or had some kind of, projected basically a non-malicious intent when he is attacking, it could basically spook off Goku.
Oh, so what?
In a sense that something is up,
So what you're saying is that his shadow clones would have a harder time tricking Naruto, which I already agree that they would have a hard time tricking him. Ultra Instinct isn't really Goku fighting anyway. It's more like just his body just going fucking ham with whatever power he has. So I don't think he would be consciously aware enough to be tricked anyway. If that makes sense. So that
makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think a trick would even work on Ultra Instinct because his body just does whatever it wants regardless of what's happening. which could possibly be a weakness, but I don't really want to get into that too much.
No worry.
Yeah.
And there's one last point.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last point I made, it was basically you were in the video you were comparing Naruto's experience with precog, him having some experience against Goku with his Ultra Instinct, and what I said there was basically one that I don't see Goku's Ultra Instinct as a form of precog. It seems to be a form of boosted reaction time.
Okay, that's fine.
And that I don't see, and also that I don't think Naruto's experience with precog can really be factored into this. His way of actually dealing with precog, from what I've seen, usually stems from him being able to overpower his opponent, and with them being at equal stats, I don't see how Naruto is going to be able to have that distinct defense.
Well, if you want,
that aspect.
I actually showed a scan in the video of one time where Naruto actually did pin a fighter that was stronger than him. That's Kaguya. So what happened with Kaguya is Kaguya just got done dodging one of Naruto's attacks. Naruto rushed into Kaguya and then made 9 clones to surround Kaguya so that Kaguya couldn't go anywhere. And then from there, Kaguya, even with precognition, could not avoid basically a semi-omnidirectional or 180-degree assault from like 9 Rasen Shuriken Biju attacks. So that's an example of Naruto being able to surround an opponent way stronger and way faster than himself, plus precognition, and plus with the Byakugan that can read chakra.
At the same time, you could argue Kaguya didn't have the right instincts.
She had all the instincts. I don't know what you mean by that. She had the Byakugan and the...
I don't mean reaction time. I mean like deduction time. Like, you know how a fighter is able to deduce? She had basically a situation where, like say Goku, who might be surrounded by a couple of opponents. I'm going to use the movies, but it's not something that shows something Goku hasn't done in the anime before, I guess. But it's basically Goku's ability to detect that an opponent is going to strike me from in basically some form or some manner of tactic, to Kaguya, she couldn't discern that part in time, caught her off guard. While a person like Goku, who's more trained, more acute with his instincts, will be able to deduce a bit more quickly, or a bit more, refined than the way Kaguya did. So basically, what I'm saying is I base Kaguya the fact that Kaguya couldn't dodge that necessarily, because of her inexperience with fighting. In any case.
I disagree, because one of the things about the Byakugan is, for when the Byakugan lets you read what the opponent's going to do with their chakra, the Char Renegon has precognition in multi-step, not like full future reading, but precognition, so it can see what Naruto's going to do in advance. And this is the situation, just looking fodder real quick. It's not like the shuriken were in her face or anything, it's just that she could not go anywhere to dodge.
Really? I think she had a lot of space though, like left or right.
No, because he basically threw them around her. So like the 4, there's 2 on the right, 2 on the left. He used those to like box her in per se, and then like 5 like shotgun down the middle, so she didn't really have anywhere to go. And then from there, Kaguya just couldn't move. Also, I would like to say that when a character has 6 paths or nature mastery, such as Kaguya or Madara or Naruto, they kind of have unconscious masteries of all their abilities. I can give you a scan of that one if you want. I'm
not debating the fact that she can't, that her abilities aren't there. I'm just saying she's not like a seasoned fighter, so her ability to recognize a dangerous situation and get out of it is not as acute as, say, anyone else in Naruto, I guess.
Well, Sage and Nature Mastery do that automatically. So, like, for instance, Sage Mode itself has danger awareness built into it. So 6 Paths mode would only be a far more enhanced version of that, and then she has multi-step precognition, and then the Byakugan to read Naruto's exact chakra and what he's going to do. So if anything, Kaguya is extremely well equipped to deal or guess whatever Naruto's about to do, and she still wasn't able to get out of the way despite having massively superior stats.
Does she have Sage Mode? I don't think she does.
She has 6 paths, yeah. She has 6 paths mode.
6 paths is in Sage Mode, though.
She has 6 paths mode. 6 paths mode came from Kaguya.
I know 6 paths, but I'm saying Sage Mode, though.
6 paths Sage Mode is what Kaguya has, yeah. Sage Mode is basically nature, and that's what the 10 Tails is. The 10 Tails is Sage. It's basically pure Sage energy, yeah. Sage, you need to realize Sage Mode is basically... Sage Mode is just nature energy mixed with chakra. So what Kaguya does have 6 paths Sage Mode.
When I'm saying Sage Mode, I'm saying the distinct ability to use the techniques of Sage Mode.
Okay.
Like the way Naruto does. I don't see Kaguya indicating Kaguya can do the same things Naruto can.
Can I explain?
Distinctly because Naruto has been trained has been trained to use those Sage powers differently. The same way Hashirama uses his Sage powers differently than, say, any Toad Sage or Snake Sage user.
Well, here's the thing. The thing about the 10 Tails is that the 10 Tails is basically nature itself. It has everything to do with nature-related things. It can sense everything in nature. It has an inherent drive to understand and thrive to destroy anything that exists, that has chakra or exists in nature. And like I said, it's Sage nature energy mixed with her chakra, so it would be 6 paths Sage Mode. And we know that Madara Uchiha stated he had the same 6 paths mode that Naruto had. And this 6 paths, Madara was absorbed and turned into Kaguya. So Kaguya would only have that ability and then some, because the ability originated from Kaguya. It should also be noted that these abilities...
But what I'm saying is the ability to use those techniques, because is different from when you're saying
it's inherent.
Sage energy and using Sage energy to say, basically use a Sage charge or Sengan, or to use it in a precognition sense.
She
has all that power, but she doesn't use it in those ways.
She uses them extremely advanced. What do you mean?
Like any Sage mode techniques, though.
She uses jutsu that's more advanced than anybody in Naruto. What do you mean?
Sage mode techniques, not like...
Yes, her Sage mode techniques are an enhancement of Madara's, And like I said before, 6-path sage mode gives you the inherent understanding to use its abilities. So like I said before, Madara stated he had the same 6 paths mode that Naruto has. And that 6 paths mode that Naruto has gives him the inherent understanding of all things around him and all his abilities. It's also how they fly. 6-path sage mode is how you fly in Naruto. So it only...
Wasn't it... I thought that was like the Rinnegan ability.
No, Naruto doesn't have a Rinnegan. And look, Sasuke can't fly, and Naruto can. That's because of his 6-path sage mode. 6-path sage mode is what gives you the inherent ability to fly as well.
How come... Wait. Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm. Sasuke can fly with the Susanoo. Because it has, like, wings and shit.
Okay, yes, that's true. Then... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that point then.
Oh, cool. I think that's pretty much all of the points, unless you had something else you wanted to say, or...
I just think we... well, one thing is that I believe I debated you one time before.
I've known you. I've seen your name around for a few years, so I'm sure we have. But what is it?
It was just fun. I think it was before you starting up.
Yeah, before I started blowing up. Yeah.
Small video about basically sound genjutsu.
Sound genjutsu.
Sound genjutsu.
Oh, that's when I still didn't talk in my videos. Yeah, it was like what genjutsu.
You started talking. Yeah, you were saying basically that his name, but there was this in like early Naruto, the beginning Naruto's.
Mm-hmm.
There was this fight against like the Sound 4 in the death, where Sakura cut her hair and all that stuff.
That's not versus the Sound 4, but sure.
I don't know who they are. The name can't slip my mind.
They're sound genin, but yeah.
So basically, the sound. So basically, you were saying that the sound genin, when one of the sound genin fought Rock Lee, and he basically used the jutsu that sent sound waves into his ears, and it was making him disoriented. You were saying that was a genjutsu.
I don't remember saying that was a genjutsu, but if I did say that was a genjutsu, I was wrong. But I just don't recall ever saying that. I do remember saying that there are sound genjutsus in Naruto in a genjutsu-related video, but that was more to do with Jiraiya and Pain, not necessarily the sound ninja and the Forest of Death. That is considered a subtle genjutsu, though. A genjutsu is basically just an illusion.
Well, basically, it wasn't an illusion.
It's considered an illusion. Basically, what they do is they act like they did something to you, non-physically, when it's actually them fucking with the fluids inside your ears. I think I actually recall this video you're talking about now. I think I even showed like a video clip of it. I'm thinking.
The fuck going on here, guys?
That was like. I'll mute him. Don't worry. That was like from 2015, I think, or was that 2016? That was a really long time ago, but.
Back.
That was 2015, yeah. Yeah, if I did say it was like a full-on genjutsu, then I was wrong. But I think I was just referring to that it was an illusionary hacks that is, considered an illusion, like it's considered a genjutsu. But no, the Toyuya demonic flute wasn't what he's talking about. He's talking about Dosu. Dosu and his sound waves. Yeah.
That's all my points, dude.
Okay, cool. Well, it was nice debating you. I respect you for coming in here. I hope. Yeah.
Not having the rest of the guys call me out, I guess.
Yeah, no. My fans or viewers or Discord members, none of them. All of them just want to hear a one-on-one debate most of the time. Anyway, I don't think none of them want to like jump on people or anything. So,
Gotcha.
Sometimes they do jump on people, though. Sometimes they do. I won't lie. Sometimes they get pretty cancerous on some people. But usually when I debate people, they know.
Did someone say jump?
Yeah, usually when I debate people, they know. So.
Come on, guy.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, sorry for being so hostile at the beginning. I usually tend to be hostile at the beginning because I feel like my adversary is usually going to be hostile as well. And so I project that feeling. So I am sorry for being hostile at first, but glad we could figure that out. And yeah, that's the video, and I hope we know each other for a few more years as well. I hope your channel blows up soon. So
Thanks anyway, dude.
yeah.